What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out the video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different on the WRX. Now, I know a lot of people, you probably already know what my engine bay looks like. It's just all been black everything. Black Perrin parts, everything's just textured black. I've been trying to go for like a sleeper look in the engine bay. So when I pop the hood, there's nothing really too exciting that grabs your attention. But I'll tell you what does grab your attention, and it's something that I don't like. So as everybody knows, first thing you see when you pop the hood is these ugly yellow caps. It used to be there was no way to alleviate them, unless you did something with them yourself. But now you have all kinds of options. You have Billetworks, you have Boomba, you have other companies like that selling these caps in like a set. And what you can end up doing is you can buy a set of these caps, and they're about anywhere from like $150 to $250, depending on where you get them from, what colors you get, that sort of thing. I've seen them even more expensive. So when you get that, all you're getting is 4 caps. You're getting your coolant overflow, your wiper fluid, your oil cap, and your brake reservoir cap. That just seems a little bit ridiculous to me, paying $200 or more for some stupid caps. Now, I know they're aluminum and all that sort of thing, but it just doesn't make sense to me. So what I'm going to be doing today, aside from the radiator cap and the oil dipstick, because I'm going to be changing those out with aftermarket ones here sometime soon, I'm going to be pulling off all 4 caps, and I'm going to be painting them myself. Now, a little disclaimer before I get into this, I am not doing necessarily a DIY friendly mod here, because I'm not using spray paint. What I'm going to end up doing is sanding these down about as vigorously as I can to make sure the paint sticks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray on the black, and then I'm going to spray on a clear coat, which is I'm going to try and do a satin clear coat. And it's all automotive brand paint, same stuff you'd use on the outside of the car. And I'm going to be using an adhesion promoter to try and help the paint stick. On my last WRX, I actually plasti dipped all the caps, and it didn't hold up very well. Also, side note, I will be cutting the little links off here where I'm going to be cutting and shaving. Basically, all these are for is just to keep them from falling down in your engine bay when you take them off. Well, if you're careful and you take it off and you sit it somewhere and you don't drop it, you should be okay. Worst case scenario, this fails miserably and then I just go buy the caps, but if I can save money and clean up the engine bay, I'm going to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up all of these openings. We're going to have to take that off. I'm going to cut this. Oh, now that's down on my splash guard. And then I will try and smooth that out whenever I sand these down. And then same thing here with the coolant. I'm going to try and pop that out. Whenever I paint these, I'm going to tape up underneath here and just make sure that no paint, I'm not even going to let paint probably get on this bottom edge. Same here, I'm going to remove this O-ring, try and clean up all this oil. And then what I'm going to do is just tape off and do it that way. I'm just going to blow some adhesion promoter on it, and then the color, and then the clear. Typically you want to reduce your paint, but since I'm going for like a textured look, I'm leaving the paint unreduced, so it's going to spray out kind of wacky, but it's going to give us that textured finish I'm looking for. Alright, so this is after 3 coats of base coat. You can see we definitely have that texture. I might have went a little too crazy with the texture, but I don't know. I think they'll look cool. It's hard to see with all this background, but once it dries, it'll level out a little bit, and then I'm going to obviously have a flat on there. It's not going to be as shiny as it is. It's going to be more dull after I put the clear coat on, because I'm going to be using a flattening agent. Okay, now we are going to spray our flattening clear coat on. Alright guys, we officially have all of our caps. They did end up flattening out a little bit, so they look pretty much how I wanted them to look. They're just like a flat black. I didn't want them to stand out too much, but here's our, we're going to take the tape off. Alright, now we're going to put our oil ring back in here. I cleaned it off really good. And put that sucker back on. Looks great. Alright, and we'll take our washer cap. Put that sucker back on. Take our coolant cap. Take the tape out. Put that sucker on. And then our brake reservoir cap. Alright. Gonna untape this, put our brake reservoir cap on. I want to get it. Awesome. That looks great. Alright guys, so you can just see how much better that looks right off the bat. When you pop the hood, you don't see all that yellow. It looks so clean as compared to what it was. The oil cap came out really nice. The brake reservoir cap came out really nice. These came out okay. My only gripe is that it does kind of look, you know, it kind of looks like I painted it. But, I mean, that's how I wanted it to look. I wanted that flat look. I didn't want it glossy. And, I mean, if you look, everything in here has texture on it. So, I didn't want them to be, you know, gloss black. So, I'm kind of glad I went with what I did. They don't catch your eye, which is good. It's not like, you know, the gloss black would have caught your eye, you know, and then it would have been obvious. I don't know. I just didn't, there's no point in bringing attention to the caps, in my opinion. So that's why I went with black. That's why I went with like a satin black and the textured look, so it looked kind of OEM, I guess. But anyways, it looks so much better. So much better. Now, so all I have to do is I want to do my dipstick. Well, I'm not going to paint it. I'm going to buy a dipstick. And then also I'm going to get a cap here as well. I would paint the dipstick just because it's a hard plastic. It'd be really easy to paint. But, I don't know. The stock dipstick is really hard to read. And on my last WRX, I had the quick stick dipstick. And that worked really nice. It was so much easier to read. And it was, you know, it was black. So, I don't know. I think that was like $80 or something. So I might get that down the road. But now it just looks so much cleaner with all that being black. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I appreciate you checking it out. And, you know, go ahead and try it yourself if you want. I mean, the worst thing you got to lose is some caps. So I would try maybe first on like the washer reservoir cap or something that doesn't really matter. And then, you know, if it turns out good, go ahead and do the rest. The only thing you might have issues with if you use like spray paint or something is the heat on the oil cap, depending how hot it gets. I don't think it gets super hot. And then, obviously, like if you get brake fluid and stuff on spray paint, it can deteriorate it. So, you just got to be careful. But I think you could probably spray paint these and get similar results. So, I just know this will be durable and it'll hold up for a long time because it's 2K clear, adhesion promoter, all that stuff. So, anyways, I hope this gave you some ideas, inspired you a little bit. And until next time.